Hey, this is Deepak here from digitaldeepak.com and welcome to the first lesson in your SEO mastery course. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the evolution of search engines. So let's get started. Let's first have a look at what are search engines. Of course, we are not going to learn the very basics. We all know what a search engine is. But what we will do is that we will try to get a different perspective here about the search engines, which is very important to learn because we are going to master the game of SEO. And we need to know how the search engines have evolved and how the search engines think and how it can be defined in various perspectives. So I would say that search engines are basically an evolved form of classifieds because you are only going to look for products and services that you know that it already exists. Search engines are also kind of like ask a friend who knows everything. So if you want to learn about something in the previous days, what you would do is that you would try to go to a library, try to find a book on that topic and try to find an answer within the book if it is available. But let's say you have a very intelligent friend who has read a lot of books. First you will try asking him because you don't need to go in search of information and spend a lot of time searching for it. Since this friend of yours has already read a lot of books and has stored it in his mind, he can actually bring up an answer very fast. And when you are going to get fast answers for your questions, you can move ahead in doing what you are doing in terms of your professional career or your personal life. So that's what search engines are. And now your search engine is basically like a friend who knows everything. When you are advertising on the search engines, you are not interrupting people while they are doing something else. If you are advertising on Facebook or any other digital medium or an offline medium, you are basically interrupting people when they are doing something else. But with search engine ads, what you are doing is that you are only showing the ads when people are searching for it. So here it is not demand generation, but demand fulfillment. So if you have learned about Facebook ads from my Facebook ads course, there I have talked in depth about the advantages of demand fulfillment ads and the advantages of demand generation ads. In certain markets where when you are bringing something new into the market and when there is not an existing demand and when people are not already searching for it, Facebook ads will be one of the best ways to go ahead and reach new customers. But in terms of getting a very high conversion ratio and in terms of fulfilling an immediate need in the market, search engine ads and SEO links help a lot. And again, as I said before, search engines, whether it is SEO or SEM, are only for products and services that people are looking for already. So when I talked about classifieds, I talked about listing out products and services that people know it exists. Like for example, let's take the example of iPad. So when iPad was launched and before tablet computers became a norm, no one was searching on Google for something like 16 GB Android tablet or 16 GB iPad or iOS tablet or something like that. So here the demand did not exist because the product itself was not introduced in the market. But once you introduce a new product, you have to do mass marketing, you have to do branding, and you have to get the word out through interruption advertising and various other channels of advertising. Let's say it could be Facebook ads or newspaper ads, magazine ads, TV ads, display ads, and things like that. But once people get to know that something like a tablet computer exists, now there is a demand for it. So people will be looking for such products since they know it exists. So that's where search engines are really powerful. So another example that I have given in one of my blog posts is that if someone is searching for running shoes and if they need running shoes and they are going to search it on a Google search, here this person is more likely to buy the running shoe because he is looking for it. However, if this person is not looking for a running shoe and if you are displaying an ad for running shoe while he is browsing Facebook, he is not as likely to buy it because he is not looking for it. So that is why the conversions on search engine links, whether it is SEO links or paid ads, is going to be very high. So now let's look at the market share of search engines. We keep talking about search engines, but basically now this entire course will be targeted at one particular search engine, which is Google. So right now the market share of Google overall, when you consider the international average, is 80.52%, which is a pretty big market share. The next person to have A good market share is Bing, which is 6.92%. Then you have Baidu, a Chinese search engine, which is 5.94%. Then you have Yahoo, which is just around 5%. And then you have other search engines which you probably don't even know, or you might have heard about Ask Search Engine, AOL. And then you had something called Excite, which used to have a significant market share, but now it has like 0.02% market share. And there are a few more search engines which fall into the 1% bracket. So now that Google has the lion's share of market share, what we will be doing is that we will go ahead and have this entire course built around Google search, and I hope that that is what you are also interested in learning. So let's talk a little bit about Google's evolution and how Google has evolved over the years. So Google domain name google.com was registered in 1998, and this is how the first Google website looked. You know that the founders of Google were Stanford graduates, and in Stanford they wrote a research paper, and they basically built a search engine where information could be searched within Stanford itself, and then they built a search engine where the web could be indexed. So there was a huge need for a search engine because the amount of content online and on the web was exploding. So the first version of search engine was basically organizing text content, which is web pages. And then after that, Google started indexing images also. So here, when people were searching for something like how does a phone look or something like that, so here people would want to see images of different things. They could be searching for cars, or they could be searching for something that is latest in the market. They could be searching for pictures of actor and actresses or celebrities and things like that. So that's when image search came into existence. And then you had news search. So news search basically began when the 9/11 incident happened. And when the 9/11 incident happened, people were searching for something like Twin Towers, World Trade Towers. But Google was basically showing results from 1 month old cache where they had information about the World Trade Center and the Twin Towers and things like that. And since a lot of people were searching for Twin Towers, it doesn't mean they want more information about Twin Towers, but it was more information about the latest 9/11 incident that had happened. So here Google kind of realized that we need to bring something like news search. So when people were searching for it, they were basically redirecting people to different news websites. But then Google found out the importance of news search, so they brought news search separately into it. And then Google kind of found out that people don't want to go ahead and select what kind of search they want every time because it's a friction point. So then they brought something called universal search. When they search for something, pages, images and news will be displayed in the same page. So now I hope that you are also using Google a lot, and when you use Google you would have noticed that when you search for something which is very relevant to an image search, for example if you search for something like color red, what will happen is that you will mostly get pictures of red color and less of web pages, because Google now knows that it's more related to images than web pages. And if at all you are searching for something like a particular person's name which is there on the news, like for example when the Trump election happened, and if you are searching for Trump, Google would not show old results about Donald Trump, but Google would show the latest news about Donald Trump, because Google, through its own experience and through its own algorithm developments, knows that you are searching for news. And then finally Google had Google Instant Search. So these are the 5 major evolution points in Google. And Google Instant Search is basically Google will start suggesting what you are searching for even before you finish writing the keyword or typing the keyword. So when you start searching for something like bike or motorcycle, Google will give you suggestions of extra words that can be added, and also for the words that you have searched, you will start seeing the search results instantly. So here Google is predicting your thoughts, and we will talk more about it in the keyword research lesson, where this is a very important technique to find out new keywords that people are searching for. So that's Google's evolution. Let's talk a little bit about what is the future of search, because when we are learning SEO and when we want to go ahead and master the SEO game, we need to make sure that we are also doing it in such a way that our education and experience is useful for the future updates as well. So basically what I believe is that Google will provide more information by itself and depend less on webmasters. So right now you would see that for many queries, which is like weather, which is something like statistics about games or statistics about the recent elections or anything like historical information, or for example if you want to search for what is the value of pi or what is the formula for finding the circumference of a circle. So these kind of information Google need not depend on other webmasters to give that data to the users. Google can give it on the Google page itself without giving links and without sending traffic to other websites. For example, until recently, whenever I used to convert time and date from one zone to another, I used to go to a website called timeanddate.com, but then Google now has brought its own time conversion engine, and again when you want to calculate the conversion rates of USD to Indian rupee or Indian rupee to USD, Google has started giving its own information. So again, it's their own website. They are free to do whatever they want to do with it. Initially, they're dependent on webmasters to bring these results, but now they are bringing more and more information themselves. So what Google cannot replicate is that creative, thoughtful content is what they cannot replicate, and that's where we have to focus our content creation on. For example, one more thing that Google recently did was that they started giving away lyrics of songs by themselves, and lyrics of songs are published on the Android platform, and a lot of people who were publishing lyrics were hit because of it, because Google did not send them traffic and Google started showing the lyrics of songs themselves, right? And again, when you look at top 10 results, so if you search for top 10 movies, top 10 songs, Google nowadays starts giving it itself, right? So this is basically data and not very organized information, so that is something that Google can collect itself and create itself. But however, if you are writing a piece about, let's say, the future of India, or how ISRO is dominating the space industry globally, or if you are talking about what is the best way to come up with new ideas of content or anything like that, which is very creative or very specific. For example, if you are going to different places, if you are a travel blogger, so this is content that Google cannot create itself. So anything which is data, anything that is stats, Google can create itself. So in your entire SEO strategy, whatever you are trying to do, whatever content that you are trying to publish, you should keep in mind that it should be the kind of content that Google cannot create itself in the future. So in such cases, Google will definitely send you traffic because that is something that they cannot make themselves, right? Creative content is what you have to focus on. And again, talking a little bit about things like black hat SEO and stuff, there is no way to game the search engines in the long term, because whatever you do in terms of creating backlinks or fake pages with a lot of content to attract the search engines, what will happen is that Google will always catch up to it, because their algorithm is developing day by day and they are becoming more and more human like. So we will talk about this more on page and off page SEO, how Google uses user signals and webmaster signals to rank various pages on their websites. So that's about it for the future of search. I hope this lesson helped you get some information that you did not know before. So this lesson basically kind of creates a foundation for whatever we are going to learn about SEO in this SEO mastery course. So thanks for watching this video, and if you have any questions, you can mail it to me, or better, please go ahead and ask it in the SEO Mastery forum on Facebook, which you would have got a link to it already. So thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next lesson.